Welcome back, guys. The Cats are through to the prelim final. 20-point winners over the West Coast Eagles, and we will have a date with Richmond coming up, and what a clash that is going to be. But I'll focus on this game, which I'm reviewing today, and my voice has certainly taken a hit with last night's game. It was strenuous, it was tough to watch, but it was beautiful to watch in the end as well. Really exerting ourselves in the last quarter, but yes, the Cats rewrite history a little bit. They get the finals win they needed, and first win since 2017 in the finals. Really needed to get the job done. Really, it was pure relief, elation, and just great to get the result. Still plenty of work to do in terms of season 2019, but as far as what we did on the Eagles, really, really good. That was a tough game from the boys, and so proud of their efforts and getting the job done and getting through the prelim final, which is only 4 teams a year get through to it. So really stoked with how we started. As you can see, we'll probably show excuse me, probably in the timeline, but an amazing start which got it all going. Kicked 2 goals really quickly. We just had to get off to a great start, and we did. The Eagles already off to a bad start with really Rioli. I won't make any comments on that, but would not have assisted their preparation. Would have come as a bit of a shock. But the first term was simply brilliant. Could have been even further up with some of the other chances we had, but look, I'll take being in front at quarter time and 4 goals up. We got to 32 up. The Eagles pegged us back. They were always going to come back. They're a quality side. And I'll tell you what, I was pretty nervous when it got into the third team. The Eagles kicked 5. And we didn't really make our chances count. We had the last 15-20 minutes on our terms. We kicked 4 points. And at that stage, we're like, right, we're not in front. We should be in front. What's going to happen from here? So, as you can see here, the final term, we put the pedal to the metal, put the foot on the accelerator, kicked 4 goals, and that was what won the game. So, and keeping the Eagles to a point, and get the Pies to no score with the last quarter last week. So you get the feeling if the Cats are in the game, they'll generally run out on top, and I think we're number 1 for final terms as well. So if we're not blown away by the Tigers early and we're sort of around the mark, you'd like to back us in to come home with the win. So we'll go through some of the stats and how the Cats won and all those sorts of things. We got plenty more of the footy and a little bit more on the outside, which was nice. We got exposed in that camp last week. The Eagles they don't like to handle much. Evident there. 61 inside 50s. You need those opportunities. And we were pretty decent going inside 50. Free kick count was a very interesting discussion throughout the game. I think the Eagles got probably 10 in a row or something. That was the only time they actually mounted their challenges, when the umpires kept them back in it. But the Eagles were winning it around the contest, which I'll delve into soon. Clearances were dead even. Centre clearances were in our way. And what I liked about the clearances too, the Eagles were in front at quarter time, but probably like us last week against the Pies, we were winning the stats, but we weren't efficient with the stats that we got. So there's clearances and there's clearances, clean clearances, and there's just grubby clearances that don't really go anywhere. That's what I felt like the Eagles were like, I suppose, on the Friday night. The contested possession, massive win here, plus 23. When you have less turnovers, you're a better chance to win. Normally that means you win. The marks inside 50. Kudos to the pressure from the midfield, and kudos to the back 6 who were excellent. Out-tackled the Eagles. Not a high tackling game. Only 108 there, if my maths does me correct. Tackles inside 50 is huge as well. 1% is massive. So, I suppose, as far as the game played out, it was really around the source. So, out of the centre clearance, it seemed to be that's where the most amount of damage was coming from, because that's when the Eagles seemed to fight back. But we were really dominant, sort of in the clinches there. We weren't exactly winning hitouts, but what we were doing is we were roving off Nick Nat pretty well, and also Hickey was playing. And we were moving the ball forward really well. We took those kicks inside, which we probably didn't do against the Pies last week. That probably would have been due to confidence / game style / I suppose the way Collingwood defended us. They would have known what kind of kick we'd like to take, and they were able to take it a lot of times as well with lack of pressure and just being able to execute perfectly. When you're on, and we settled early, you're hard to stop. So that start arguably wins you the game. If we're not up, that 4-goal margin, what's the final result? We had our momentum in the last quarter and made them pay then, but ultimately the Eagles had to come back 32 points down. It's incredibly tough to come back in one day footy, even with 6-6-6. Teams defend really well, and they park the bus and they do all sorts of things. So yeah, look, it was incredible effort, and we were just getting so many of these one-on-one winning contests. Jed Hughes edges out, I think it was Liam Ryan in one of the contests, and that holding the ball on Max, and just so many early moments that really counted and got the boys up, and it was significant in setting the mindset and the mode for the game we played. And you can't buy confidence from the shot, but I'll tell you what, when you do some team lifting things early in the game and you go off to a good start, it's so rewarding when you get the results on the scoreboard and you're like, we're on tonight. Some great individual brilliance from some midfielders, which I'll delve into shortly. There was so many good players, and the votes are really tough. I don't even fully agree with them, but look, it was a great team performance. It wasn't left to one individual. Everyone played their role and did a really good job. That's all you can ask for. When you're winning the one-on-one contests and the playing well in the big plays and the big moments, it's going to be pretty hard to be stopped, I suppose. So we were able to get field position against the Eagles a lot of times. They came back, obviously, and I was pretty nervous because I thought, they're back in front now, they're just going to roll on with this. But steely resolve from the Cats to be able to keep it on and keep piling on the scoreboard pressure. We just kept playing it out, and it was a very tough performance. And I've labelled the footy club soft at times, so put my hand up there. Want to see it consistently over a number of weeks, but any time you get a finals win is incredible, because there's teams out there that haven't won them in a long time, and some teams haven't played finals in a long time, let alone that. So I'll take a win. I think the Eagles, prior to 2011, that when we won that final, probably got us in the last two grannies that they played in 92, 94 against us. So from a historical point of view, it's significant in that reign as well, and ruins the reigning premiers back-to-back ambitions as well. So that also can't be undersold. But moving to the players, and gosh, I'll be talking for an hour here, but I've given the 3 votes to Joel Selwood. He was actually at war. You would not have known if he was in some country fighting for Geelong. He was a colossus, and he got 26 touches. Apparently only 5 of them were contested, and it felt like he got tackled high 20 times. But he was special. It's the best game he's played this year, and probably one of his finest performances ever. Probably in his top 5 or top 10. He was not leaving without a win. He's literally playing like his life was on the line. And gosh, his eyes just got smashed 50 times. He's bleeding for the entire last quarter. I don't know how no one picked up on it or cared to take him off. But 26 touches, 11 marks, 4 tackles, 8 score involvements as well. So he just used the ball well. And just the character and the manner in which he played. He said, "Get on the back of me, boys. I've still got it in me," and he delivered the goods, and he had to, and he did. So, a very special performance from Joel Selwood, and that gives him the 3. 2 votes to Tom Hawkins. I'll get the negative out of the way first. I'll leave it for later. 4 goals to Tom Hawkins, and that was arguably, well, we win by 20 points. Tom Hawkins 4 goals. You can do the maths there. Won us the game and delivered him the massive moments. Again, he had some shots on goal. Probably not normally his side of the ground to kick on, but he did it. He got the job done. He converted his chances when he got them. 0-4 last week, 4-1 this week. You'd like to hope that he could do something similar in the coming games. Who knows? We'll delve into that later. But massive presence up forward. Wins us the game with his own boot. So, one vote to Cam Guthrie. Probably his best game for the club. Doesn't get 30s very often. 33 possessions, 7 marks. Got some score involvements there. But yeah, his run and carry through the midfield and his work in the contest was invaluable. Perfect Mitch Duncan replacement. I don't know if they play the exact same role, but he would have picked up the slack of some of that run and carry through the midfield that Duncan probably normally would do. And yeah, he was just everywhere. He was in everything. He was tackling. He was doing a lot, and he led from the front. And again, one of those players that you don't really know what you're going to get sometimes, but when they play like this and they play out of their skin, you just go, "Good on you, mate. You are capable of this." So that was a great performance. Probably nearly his best for the club, if not the best game he's played. Whew, deep breath. I thought Tui was brilliant as well. I could give votes to everyone, to be honest. That's when you know he played a good game. Tui, 27, he was back to some of his better form. He's running, carrying off half back, and he's running through the wings, and he's really forcing the ball forward and causing that's my throat just stops. Causing nightmares for the Eagles forwards as well. TK, 2 goals, 18 touches. It felt like he got a lot more, but sometimes he gets a lot more, and it doesn't feel like he's got that many. So 28 last week, I'll tell you what, it was probably 28 in tight touches and 18 with more space this time around. 2 goals, significant. You wouldn't have pictured Dangerfield and Kelly getting 36 touches between him and Geelong winning. But that's how it landed. Tom Stewart was amazing. Don't know how he didn't get a vote, but gosh, yeah, he was awesome. He led from the back. It was great to watch. He was just the stalwart down back and sorted us all out. Dangerfield had a pretty quiet game first half. He got into it in the second half, took some massive marks when needed, and yeah, he'll be better for the run next week. He might have been a little bit sore. Asava Radagalier, excellent game from him. He was running and jumping at everything, kicked 3 straight. This is exactly what we've been dreaming out and hoping that he could produce and be a point of difference and a presence in the finals. 3 goals, best game of the year, maybe his best game for the club. Well done, Asava. Awesome display. Tommy Atkins, sensational. He was running around the forward line, he was getting tackles, it was all happening, it was brilliant. Cole Jasny, really, really solid. Took that first mark confidently. He was all set for the rest of the game, outside 1 or 2 little bits and pieces, but he was fine. Menegola was very lively early, went a little bit quiet as the game went on, but obviously when we were playing our best, he was stepping up nicely. Henry, really good, heard some good things about him. He's been really clean and been really good. Myers worked into the game. He didn't really hit the scoreboard in the way he would have liked. Hit the post, bit unlucky, but again, he'll be better for the run. Hopefully some more tackles next week. Gaz had a quiet game. Didn't really play super well. I feel like he gave away a few free kicks. So that's probably 3 not so great finals. Hopefully he can resurrect some better form against the Tigers. Pressure will be up. Doesn't seem to get as much time and space as usual, but better for the run, I hope. O'Connor, really good again. A great intercept late, which was beautiful. Dalhouse, only got 1 tackle actually, but had a big moment late, and that was all he needed. So that was beautiful. Narkle was pretty quiet, did some nice things, got some tackles in there, a bit of forward line ball movement. Hughes kicked a massive goal in a massive time, a great snap from the pocket, and he was really good down back. Stanley, really good game around the ground. He set up 2 goals directly to Radagalier in the first term, kicked it straight to the right spot, perfect kicks, and yeah, his influence around the ground was profound. Parfit, quiet, ish, but yeah, I mean, he was okay, but I'm sure again he can improve. Taylor was really good. Took a great mark in the last quarter on the one-hander setup. Blitzars got a little bit of the ball. He doesn't kick goals very well, but yeah, he got 6 score involvements when he played his role. I think on the wing. I don't know if that's his role anymore, but that's okay. So it looks a bit brighter all of a sudden, and a week's a long time in football, and it was great to get the result because the Cats are under the most pressure probably any group or coach has been under that I can remember, with especially in the finals, and how we have demons in the finals it seemed at times, and yeah, it was great how we were able to rally together and just get the result. We played a genuine man's man game last night, and yeah, we all chips were in, and that's what we need. The coming week or weeks, depending on how it goes. We've got the Tigers. Tom Hawkins, that was the point I was going to get to. Tom Hawkins, very interesting. Hard to see him not getting a week. I would also like to do a Chris Scott and say, not that anyone really cares what I think on the situation. However, Trent Cotchin gave Shield a concussion in the preliminary final. I know that was in play. I'm aware of that, but any time that sort of incident happened in the past, that has been given a week based off the medical report, at least a week. But Cotchin got, it was all good. He got a fine. Toby Green's, whilst nothing clear cut and nothing crazy, but a terrible look for the game, with pulling hair, rubbing the head on the ground, potential eye gouge. That's pretty deplorable look for the game. Nick Nat gets Merritt into a chokehold, slams him into the fence and gets a fine. Tom Hawkins, a very, very dumb punch, and you can call it clumsy if you like. I mean, the thing for me here is the prior record doesn't matter. Toby Green was fine and got a fine. He's got the worst record going out, so Tom Hawkins probably not too far behind either with some of the silly indiscretions and pieces he finds himself into. So I think if the medical report's favourable, and I don't think West Coast will do us any favours, then he's an outside chance to play. And if he gets a week or two, the Cats will challenge it regardless, because honestly, here's the difference. Yeah, I mean, if we have to have him to go through to the grand final if we happen to get the Tigers. So I think the Tigers will win, maybe anyway, but gee, I think we're up to our ears for sure. I think, yeah, their form's stood up really well consistently. Ours probably, yeah, suggests win-loss, and we're a bit response-based. But yeah, I'm excited, and I genuinely think we can beat them. You know, if I'm putting money on, you know, a game, which I'm not, yeah, if someone gives you, you know, $1,000 or $1 million, you're probably chucking it on Richmond. But certainly, if we play like we played against the Eagles, I think we win. We beat them by 11 goals earlier in the year, so I don't think we'll fear them. They're obviously a much better team now. Had some switches in personnel and game style, and they're back to the way they want to play. But we'll also have confidence knowing that we can beat them if we exploit their backline, and obviously that all comes from dominating in the midfield. They're not great in clearances, so that may be an area in the contested ball. Hopefully we can excel in that, and we'll need to keep Grinds and Boston accountable. If we keep them accountable, we can potentially win the game. Don't get beaten by what you know, as they say, and hopefully we have star power and enough team buy-in to get the job done. So, great win, boys. Well done. Very proud of you. 20-point winners over the Eagles. Like the video, subscribe away, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned.